welcome back to Nightly Nonsense, where we make some sense out of the nonsense. For example, lollipops. What are lollipops literally created for? Lollipops were created for an instantaneous, long-term sugar fix, right? They are the grown-up version of a pacifier. That is true, right? That is trickled down to little kids. But we're smart. We don't give little kids suckers because they run around with a sucker. Guess what's going to happen? They're going to choke. They're going to fall. So we have adult pacifiers, suckers, right? But how you view a sucker is kind of important. You guys are all lost, and everybody's like, "What are you talking about?" Like there are people who immediately they put a sucker in their mouth and they chonk it and it's gone. There's no long-term, right, pleasure pacifying there. They just put it in their mouth and they chonk it. There are people who put it in their mouth and it literally takes them a year. They just set it in their mouth on their tongue and they go, it'll dissolve somewhere along the line. But then there are people who are active with their pacifier. They actually do something with it, right? They enjoy it. What good does it do to have a sucker just chonk it in one bite or just set it on your tongue and go, right? Now you got to do something with it, and what you do with it matters. Do you understand? That is a very biblical concept, right? You should chew on that for a second and then chew on this as well, right? We're talking about devoted to. We're talking about Acts chapter 2, 42 church. Last night I said, who's your apostle? Right? Whose teaching are you devoted to? Tonight I want to talk to you about how's your fellowship. It says they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and fellowship. Now again, listen, it says and the fellowship, right? Which is the body of believers, right? To the fellowship, to those who are together. We like to talk about that as, hey, the hangout time, like to getting together with people. No. It's to the fellowship, which is the people. They devoted themselves to the people, right, that were there with them. The people that were godly in nature. Oh, wait, the people that they did life with. So let me tie this into my sucker thing. Are you devoted to suckers? Do you do something with it? Right? Are you devoted to it? Or are you a casual person? Right? Are you somebody that does nothing with it? Right? You put it on your tongue and you wait, you do nothing with it. You chonk it in one bite? That's not enjoying it. Right? They were devoted to the fellowship. Are you devoted to the people around you? Do you know that devotion doesn't just mean I hang out with them? It doesn't mean I see them on Sundays. It means I'm devoted to you, to them, right? Which means I am 100% in, right? I am going to figure out who you are. I'm going to figure out what you do, how you do it, how all of these things. I want to know about you. Devotion is way more than just I read the book. Devotion is I studied the book, right? I want to know about it. I want to be the best sucker eater ever, right? I want to be the best whatever it is. Are you devoted to the people around you? Now, it sounds like I'm screaming, right? And it sounds like I've just lost my mind and that created a bunch of nonsense, and now you can make some sense out of it, right? If you looked at your friends and you asked them, am I devoted to you? What do you think that they would say? Am I devoted to you? And by the way, if you have one person that you're really devoted to, that's fantastically bad for you. Because now the question is going to be, are you as devoted to all the rest of the fellowship as you are to that person? Are you giving them the same amount of time, the same amount of energy? Are you giving, you're like, well, no, because we've hierarchied friendship and people. Like, no, that's not it. It's devoted to the fellowship, not those you like. Devoted to fellowship. How about the people you don't like in your fellowship? Are you devoted to them? Well, we don't have to hang around with people. No, that's not what Acts 2 says. Devoted to the fellowship. That's everybody in the fellowship. You don't get to choose who's in and who's out. God does, right? Leadership does. You don't get to do that. You're devoted to them. Are you devoted to the people around you? Listen, when you see this in action, it is amazing. When you see people who are devoted to each other, right? You want to be there, right? You want to be there. You want to be taken care of by these people. It's drawing you to take care of them. Right? But are you devoted to the people around you? Not just your spouse, not just your kids, not the people you like. Are you devoted across the board? Do your neighbors know that you're devoted? Does the people that you interact with at the grocery store, do they know you're devoted? Right? What are you devoted to? Who are you devoted to? Right? This is a really important concept. Right? And there's a whole bunch of things that I would like to talk about with the whole sucker thing that would be really appropriate, but we're not going to talk about it right now. Right? But this whole idea that do people look at your devotion to other people and go, man, I wish I had that. I wish they were like that with me. Right? Who are you devoted to? Are you devoted to the fellowship? Or just certain people in the fellowship? Chew on that. We'll talk to you next time. Nightly Nonsense.